All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble. Used to be when I preemptively paused it, like you would start it and pause it, it wouldn't start showing up, but now you've got like to wait a minute. I'm not exactly sure why. Privateer of the East, hi Sticks. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk and the idea of a Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge? Will Elon need to divest from X if he decides to become the head of this agency? Clank. He wouldn't want to head the agency. He's just suggesting such an agency be created. I think he already talked about that some weeks ago. And yeah, the idea is a good one. By the way, as far as the notary thing, I got that sorted out this morning. It's all taken care of. It turns out that my local attorney is actually a notary. I was not aware of this. So, yeah, thank you to Chris Whalen, CPA, by the way, for passing me along to several attorneys, one of which informed me of the fact that attorneys tended also to be notaries. I was not aware of this. Sticks is wrong about early voting. Go vote on election day so they won't know how many fake ballots to print, says Loki8284. That is a bad idea because there's a trade-off there. They don't know how many people are going to vote on election day either, you see. Anyways, we'll talk about various things. Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar is dead. That's fairly big news. You don't have to be Team Israel to not really rue the loss of the leader of Hamas. Just saying. I'm not Team Israel or Team Palestine. I'm Team, what the fuck are you people doing all the time? The Pennsylvania Supreme Court effectively preserves requirement to date mail-in ballots. This is very good news. It means that the big kahuna, which is Pennsylvania, unlike Georgia, will be unfortified in the election. If Trump gets Pennsylvania, I suspect that he will win based on the polling in other states. It turns out that Kamala Harris' policy work, actually as Attorney General, helped get the Yacht killer taxpayer-funded sex changes. So we're going to talk about that. That's a really deep rabbit hole right there. Microplastics detected in wild dolphin breath for the first time. Yep. We've polluted the entire world with microplastics to the point where it's actually detectable in wild animals, far out at sea, which is sad. We do need to reduce plastic usage. I'll be going on a tirade about real environmentalism versus NIMBYist bullshit. Druckenmiller, market appears convinced Trump is going to win. You can see it. I wanted to do a counterbalance to this, by the way, as well. I agree with his assessment. It's quite clear based on aggregated results. The markets are expecting Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. That's a pretty good indicator. They tend to be right. I think this is great, by the way, because, I support Donald Trump. But there are people that are putting out spurious, singular, like one-off polls, or even they don't even have any link at all saying, well, Kamala Harris is the favorite to win. Here's our market metric. But then you press them on what that market metric is and where they're getting their info from. Half the time, they can't even give it to you. It's pretty funny. Deus Flex. In the immortal words of Orange Man, he died like a dog. Yeah, Sinwar. Apparently they didn't even know at first that they'd killed him. They had to go to his dental records or something like that. So we'll get into that. And of course, we'll read out our sponsors. We'll have a bit of a rant, some fun. It's Friday. And then going into the weekend, I'm going to make up on lost time sleep-wise. I have to keep an eye on my email here as well. Let's see. Popular events in your area. I don't give a shit. I literally do not care. And of course, it lists my area as New Orleans. Yeah, as little as possible, dude. Harrison Bergeron, 78-year-old man charged with robbing an ice cream shop in Kentucky. Or is it KC? Biden nods head in approval. Come on, man. Where's my 10% for the big guy? How many gallons did you get? 10% of them are mine. Beginning of stream always cut off in apps is pre-59 Cuban. I was not aware of this. I don't use the YouTube app. I can't even get onto Google on my phone. Like half the services that I would otherwise maybe use, I can't even use them. It's impossible to log in. 1.6 billion Sinwar is ready to step up. That is a consideration. We will be talking about that. The swamp cleaner made a good decision and became a member of the quartering. Yes, everyone should go to the quartering as well and become a member. You get some special goodies there, sometimes involving me. I strongly support him. He sent me coffee. He pays me. He bonded me out of jail. Jesus. Lord Voldemort, hi Sticks, did you manage to find a notary? Hope it works out. Yes, indeed. My local lawyer turns out to be a notary public. I was not aware of this until a few hours ago. Again, thank you to Chris Whalen, CPA. He does some interesting financial talk and stuff like that, so you should follow him too. Curasis, hey Sticks, been a long-time listener. Started making new metal and metalcore music on my channel at Crisis Music, including a song I put out on July 14th about the Trump assassination attempt. Thanks. Sounds cool. I like metalcore. The Happy Plague Doctor, large car dealerships also have public notaries. Yeah, I mean, the problem was this, and I tried to explain it to people. I should have given more details. The problem is that with the transfer form I was signing, both myself and the person I was transferring to needed to be present with the same notary. And so I was trying to find like a mobile notary that could actually come in, because most of them, they have their own office. They're not going anywhere. And you can't expect a person who runs a gun shop to randomly say, yeah, I'll travel with you to a public notary. That's perfectly fine. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Then I learned that my own attorney happened to be a public notary. So Lord of the Ree. Sticks, Liz's large bull keeps mentioning your daughter. I think someone needs to check his hard drive. Sounds kind of sus to be this obsessed with someone else's child. Clank. Yeah, there's some projection going on there. I've noted this. Don't worry, things are being archived. And a lot of people that are going to get egg on their face, especially because Louisiana still has Napoleonic law in part. It's going to be very funny. Hamas leader dead. Israel says Yahya Sinwar, mastermind of October 7 attacks, died in an IDF attack. We'll read a little bit of this verbatim. During an IDF operation in the southern Gaza Strip on Wednesday, the Israeli military killed 3 Hamas operatives. DNA testing has subsequently confirmed one of the men killed was leader Yahya Sinwar. Sinwar was the mastermind behind the October 7th attack, including the paraglider Air Force. And the killing is considered a success for Israel, and it is. It's a success for the world. Again, I'm not Team Israel, but do not expect me to support Hamas. Yeah, that would be real intelligent. It's possible for both sides in a conflict to be bloodstained, you know? Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was hamming it up. Said Sinwar's death would not mean an immediate end to the war, saying our task has still not been completed. The funny part is that like Bernie Sanders and the leftoids are calling for an end to the war, saying, okay, you killed their leader, now leave. That's not going to happen. The Netanyahu's goals have not been achieved. He wants to slaughter more Hamas members. He's doing this mainly for optical purposes. An IDF statement claims Sinwar had been hiding in tunnels and among civilians in the Gaza Strip for the past year, which, is probable. U.S. President Joe Biden said the killing marked a good day for Israel, the U.S., and the world. But at the same time, come on, man, you got to withdraw. You've achieved your mission objectives. Well, a couple of them. They've managed to press Hezbollah back. They haven't yet gotten into a war with Iran, which is almost miraculous at this point. RJB wore a MAGA hat in Midtown New York City. So many fist bumps, thumbs up, and a few great conversations with fellow New York City residents. Vote early, vote early, vote early. Yeah, I've noticed there are a lot of based people out there, actually, including in far blue areas. Privateer of the East, shout out to the Quartering. It's a fun community. Yeah, the Quartering's a great dude. Trust me. Copium Poppies, howdy. Anyone who likes bands like Richelieu, A Perfect Circle, Alice in Chains, Tool, Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, and Mars Volta, and similar stuff, Copium Poppies is right up your dark, sketchy alley. You're doing heroin with Marilyn Manson, man. Bara, will your bond be returned after the case is closed? I don't know how that works. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, it was the quartering that paid it. If he can get his money back, I hope so. That'd be great. BW. Sticks, you think Georgia is still in the bag? You think he has a chance in Pennsylvania? Are we going to be in World War III so Kamala can win? Hamas, just replace him. Yeah, but they're going to replace him with somebody with less experience of necessity. And if you do it often enough, eventually you grind your enemy down. Yes, I believe that Trump will win Pennsylvania. I believe he will win Georgia. Ta-da, that's basically the election. Stephen Fivey. 100 Labour Party activists going to the U.S. from the UK to campaign for Kamala. This can't be legal, is it? Yes, it actually is. It is perfectly acceptable for people outside of the United States to volunteer for campaigns. They can't be hired by them, but they can volunteer for them. Not that anyone cares. 100 people, that's a drop in the bucket. A drunk changeling. Trump outperformed final polling by 1.1% in 2016 and 2.7% in 2020. I think he's campaigning in solid blue states because at only 1.6 behind, he has a chance at winning the popular vote. He's also dragging up down balloters. Killer 93 winner. Good news. I got selected for HA64S. That's the white pill for the day. Go guns. Excellent. Next news story. This is a white pill. This is a white pill channel and a white pilled story for a white pill channel. Pennsylvania Supreme Court effectively preserves requirement to date mail-ins. Liberal groups were trying to get them to drop that requirement. The idea was, well, you shouldn't have to date your mail-in ballot. The problem is if the ballot's not dated, couldn't it be post-dated? Well, yeah, you voted several hours after the polls were closed. That would be bad. Counting's already begun and everything else, and so you're top-loading the ballots. This effectively prevents that from happening. This is a white pill because Pennsylvania is the big kahuna of the swing states. With Trump slightly ahead in Wisconsin, where no Republican really should ever be ahead at all. With him a little bit ahead in Arizona and Nevada, which is almost surprising in the former case. And with North Carolina, I think pretty much off the table. Basically, I think the Democrats are toast at the federal level. I don't care how much copium I see getting huffed by the liberal commentators on Twitter and places like that. And trust me, they are huffing a lot of it. When they come out and they spew obvious lies, basically, think of it this way. The Kamala campaign and its adage of legacy media wonks and craptivists literally can only spew out total falsehoods. The market prefers Kamala. It doesn't. We've got aggregated polling, and we have for some time that shows that's simply not the case. Trump will ban abortion, and did ban abortion. That's simply not the case. Donald Trump hates this group of people. Donald Trump hates that group of people. Donald Trump is incoherent. Everything that they're peddling right now, I mean, think of it like some time ago, they dropped this one because it was so ineffective. It's actually Trump's border crisis. It's actually Trump's economic crisis and things like that. They are self-evidently not true. All you have to do is look at basic data. You do not have to be a genius to interpret that data and understand that none of those claims are true. Kamala's stunning and Kamala's young. No, she's 60 some odd years old. That's not young. It's not elderly, but it's not exactly, you're not a spring chicken anymore. I mean, I'm not either. I'm only 36. I don't count myself as particularly young. I'm technically middle-aged. With the life expectancy falling off a cliff right now, maybe I'm a little bit past middle-aged, actually, at this point, especially given my formerly freewheeling lifestyle, of course. The fact is that what we're seeing is a pile of horseshit, generally speaking. It's just like with the Pennsylvania court ruling here with dating mail-ins. The idea, liberals will say, well, this is going to disenfranchise legitimate voters. All you have to do is fucking get it dated and get it in on time. That's all you have to do. Hey, you've got to get it in before election day. Ta-da, you've succeeded in life. Or voter ID laws. Somehow the Democrats have some people convinced that black people are incapable of getting a state ID or a driver's license. Go down to New Orleans sometime. You'll see most of the people driving around there happen to be black. I don't know how they got the driver's licenses. I mean, I guess they're driving without a license, according to the Democrats. That's all they can do. I mean, this isn't the friggin' 1940s anymore, as Kamala would say. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's good news from Pennsylvania. Very, very good news, by the way. Exception, like that's a 10 out of 10 on the good news scale for the election because they were trying to refortify the state. Kathleen Green, do you still have your videos covering different drugs available? Can I still find them somewhere? Will LSD help me relive what I saw during an NDE? I can't really. How do I phrase this? My psychotropic videos are collated over on BitChute. Actually, there's a playlist for them, and I've given various information. Disclaimer: I'm not telling you they're safe or can cure any disease or that they're legal. I don't know if LSD can help you relive what you saw during an NDE. I don't know what the NDE was. I have to be careful when I talk about such subjects, especially when I'm live on YouTube. RJ, bond is put in so the person shows back up to court. 99.9% of the time, the money is given back. If you don't show up, he won't get the money. I'll show up. Actually, after some of the things that I learned in the last 48 hours, I'm a little bit more optimistic, actually. Electrified. Pre-59 Cuban. Depending on what state and municipality you're in, electrifying your Trump sign to shock people could be conceived of as assault. There's a legal precedent for this. It kind of depends. I'm not going to encourage anyone to spike their Trump signs or electrify them. It shouldn't be necessary that we even have such a conversation. People should leave each other's property alone. Depending on the trespass laws, self-defense laws, and other considerations in a state, you'd have to research that yourself, and if you can, you're probably already a legal attorney. It could be conceived of as assault. Tony the Greaser may not be the 40s anymore, but could be the 50s, man. That's what I'm talking about. Mayor Mike, glad to see you home. Enjoy the weekend. Oh, I intend to. I'm going to slam down so much food. There's going to be tuna noodle casserole, which I love. Slathered in ketchup, of course. Shepherd's pie, which I love slathered in ketchup, of course. Piles of fruit and shit like that. Yeah, tuna noodle casserole made by my parents is one of my favorite foods, actually. As long as there are extra peas in it. It is a necessity. Yeah, you've heard of the Yacht killer, probably. Skylar de Leon, which is one of two names involved. You may have heard of the Yacht killer on death row currently. I'll read a little bit of this verbatim. A California serial killer who tied an Arizona couple to an anchor and drowned them in the Pacific Ocean to raise money for a sex change operation finally got one while sitting on death row, with taxpayers footing the bill, thanks to left-wing policies pushed for under former state attorney general Kamala Harris, now the Democratic 2024 presidential nominee, according to a new report. Yes, apparently, years before, when she was attorney general there, Kamala Harris was bragging about policies that would allow gender-conforming surgeries and shit like that to prison inmates. The Yacht killer happens to have been one of them. I hope that the Californian public understands that they're the ones that paid for it. Now, here's my belief. I believe that this should be entirely denied. If you're talking about basic human rights, medical care, like related to, hey, my tooth is impacted, it has to be pulled. I've got this wound on my leg and it's fucking festering, something like that. I had just had a heart attack. That should be afforded to prisoners. And having been in jail in New Orleans, I can tell you, there are human rights violations going on in multiple capacities. I've seen it myself. I do believe in prison reform, but that doesn't extend to something that is not particularly necessary. If anything, it's more like, hey, people should have food that is actually edible. They should have a fucking blanket. People should generally have beds if they're going to be detained for more than 48 hours. It's the bare minimum sort of thing that you can ask for. It's almost medieval when you go down there. The Vermont jails are a little bit better, by the way. I've toured one as part of senior law back in the day. And it's the Ritz compared to what you experience down in New Orleans. Trust me. You do not want to go to that state and do anything wrong because you will suffer. Manacles and everything. I'm not joking. But as far as giving gender reassignment surgery paid for by taxpayers, a great expense, by the way, to an individual to either invert their penis or take forearm skin and make an artificial penis, I don't see the necessity here. I don't see how it's a human rights violation. I don't see how it's a criminal rights violation. I just don't understand it, especially when someone has already been condemned to death. They're on death row. Again, you try to make sure that they're getting the basic necessities in accordance with the fact that they're a human being, even if they killed other human beings during their life or something like that. But is that really a human right? Or is that more of a fad? Is it more of a modern cultural convention built up by morons? I think the latter. Sort of like you've got women's rights versus so-called trans rights at this moment. The Republican Party generally supports women's rights, which is goddamn hilarious given the cultural hegemon of maybe 15 years ago. To any millennial, it's like, the parties have inverted on this issue. Now women don't exist according to the left. And it's very, very strange to me. But yeah, Kamala helped pioneer those policies. She was on the forefront of trying to erase women, which is kind of funny. Last Beacon, you like tuna noodle casserole with ketchup? I like it with hot sauce, especially really, really hot sauce, like super painful hot sauce. No, I'll just take ketchup. In a pinch, barbecue sauce is okay, and Frank's Red is acceptable. And also, hey, Sticks, ping us. Oh, God. I'm always getting pingust. I'm also highly concerned with Georgia and Florida as well. Don't be concerned about Florida. You don't have anything to worry about there. Florida will be fine. Georgia is partially refortified, but again, Trump is running several points ahead of where he was in 2016. So it's going to be difficult. Fire down below. What would you say to Trump critics who criticize him for not knowing who David Duke was? Meanwhile, in the 90s, Trump had condemned Duke publicly. I would say that if he's no longer familiar with him because he hasn't heard his name in 30 fucking years, I would give him a pass on that. Tigers are my total and sent $5. Thank you. Kavanaugh, no elective surgery should be paid for by taxpayers. I agree. Michael Usri, hey Sticks, you down with OPP now? I don't know what OPP is. Do you mean the Orleans Parish Police? I have no problem with the police there. The jail conditions are an F-, but yeah, I don't really give a shit. It's survivable, but just barely. And you're literally laying on a bare floor. You don't even necessarily have a blanket. And there's like 12 people in the same small room. Like a room maybe slightly larger than this office, barely, with one toilet. Yeah, I don't know what OPP is. Oh, other people's pussy. No, I don't get the reference. So yeah, the yacht killer did get elective surgery at taxpayer expense. How much does that cost, by the way? That's got to be expensive. It's got to be at least in the tens of thousands of dollars range. Why? The person's been condemned to die. Does it really get worse than that? You're sitting there waiting every day, like, making a little X on the wall. How many more days until they gas me? The Dashing Rogue. Manacles like in Dungeons and Dragons? Did they put you in stockades? No, but they have those things that go around your ankles and your wrists, actually, and they're connected together. And they do that for minor crimes, not just major crimes. It doesn't matter what you've been hauled in on. So you're being effectively punished fairly severely, even though you haven't been found guilty of anything. Kathleen Green, found it. Thanks, Sticks. We'll proceed with caution. Last Beacon. Now, when I say hot sauce, I mean stuff that would get over at Strawberry Festival or, say, the Seafood Festival, mainly craft hot sauces you can't get at the grocery store. I think my dad counted the number of hot sauces because I've bought him some and he's bought some. He's really into spicy foods. I think he said it was like 36 bottles or something. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, how much do you need every go? I did get him one additional one. It was like a mango. It was mango based mainly, but it also has Scotch bonnet peppers in it. I got him that at the airport down in Louisiana on the way back. What I like is mango salsa, but I want it to have a little bit of kick. Newman's Own, I think, does it best. If you've ever had desert pepper, their garlic and olive sauce, I mean salsa, I think is the best salsa that I've ever had. That's got a little bit more kick than the standard, like more mild sauce. Microplastics detected in wild dolphin breath for the first time. All 11 dolphins in the study had at least one type of microplastic present in their breath sample. We've polluted the world so much with, the microplastics and nanoplastics at this point. Those can even work their way into your fucking cells. As they slowly degrade, micro becomes nano. We've polluted it so much that basically there is no water resource in the world that's not polluted. Maybe really, really deep in the earth, like a mile in, you might have some sort of spring or something like that that still provides truly pure water. But we've fucked the world with plastic. I am deeply concerned that this is going to cause very long-term negative health impacts. Again, as larger plastics degrade into microplastics, those degrade into nanoplastics. We're overrunning the world with plastic. You would be much better off incinerating it. Incineration systems can be made clean. We should be taking all plastic pollution and burning it at very high temperatures in order to completely eviscerate it. We should basically vaporize it. But we've been convinced by Nimbius that incineration systems are bad. It's better to just pile those bags out in the open where they can slowly degrade into the water table. Eventually, I will be proven right on this basic premise. Nimbiists are the sort of people that'll say, it's okay to have a landfill, but not near me, even though the effects of that landfill will be felt for the next 1,000 generations. We've already polluted the world enough, I think, and I believe it's time to fundamentally eliminate the usage of plastics insofar as we're capable of doing so. Like, I look around me right now, there's a lot of plastic. I mean, I prefer glassware and stuff like that. You know, that's much better for the environment. But, and I prefer organic things. Like, I don't use any plastics in my garden, for example. But it's ubiquitous. You know, in many stores, they only offer, like, plastic bags. They should be banned entirely. I do believe in banning plastic straws. Dude, just get a fucking metal straw. You can get them from Webster's Wares and reuse it infinitely. You know, all you need is a fucking pipe cleaner. Oh, wait, I think that the fuzzy part of the pipe cleaner is also plastic. Well, you can use other kinds of bristles too. We need more metal, more wood, things like that, paper, using paper bags and so forth. There's a lot of paper products that are still lined with plastic. Why not use wax? All right, I paid 2 cents more for this cup of soup because instead of plastic, they used wax on the inside of the cardboard, container. Plastic is used in clothing. Plastic is used in automotive. Plastic is used in fucking everything. It's used in building these days. It used to be like the sills of windows. They were wood. It lasts longer and it looks nicer and it's more functional. Now it's usually plastic. We need to eliminate as many sources of the use of plastic as possible. For instance, I have this Pepsi, which I'm not going to drink all of. Shouldn't be in plastic. I'm willing to pay 5 cents more for it in a glass jar. It's perfectly fine. It means nothing to me. That 5 cents is to protect the environment and reduce the usage of plastic would be worth it overall. Eventually, we're going to get to the point as more and more people are around using more and more plastic, where the world is so unhealthy that all of our cells will be impregnated with nanoplastics. Look at the dolphins. You know, they're out at sea. They're not even on land. They don't use plastic bags, but they're still infected with it. It makes absolutely no sense. The amount of money that we save on medical bills alone would probably offset the difference anyway, so I don't see the problem. Use metal, use glass, use wood, you know, natural things that don't bleed into the environment in a terrible way. Taco woman Sandy Ravage, living in Louisiana all my life. I never had met a black person who did not have at least a state ID. Well, yeah, nobody doesn't have a state ID. Just a sec here. I'm getting a quick. Yeah, that was just yet another notary contacting me. I figured because it was time sensitive, I contacted multiple people, but then I realized my attorney was a notary, and I'm like, ah, shit. Yes, Midwest Gunnar, plastic bags are not really available here. I wish that they would ban plastic packaging in foods and things like this. Cam 25, 24, 25 IA. Who wants to see Sticks listen to OPP by Naughty by Nature? LMAO. I could try. Hungry Bone Dog. Wisconsin is not a lost cause. It's one of the hardest states for third-party registration. Huge Dem projects died here. We practically have voter ID here. Every state should have voter ID. All you need is basically, you've got a driver's license, a state ID, something like that, just to show that you're actually from the state. That's all that anyone's asking. That and hand-counted ballots. It's like that judge down in Georgia that just struck down the hand count for ballots law and said, well, you know, I've got no precedent that I'm actually using for this, but it's my opinion that'll cause chaos on election day. It's funny because most states use a hand count method. There are states that still have paper ballot only. They managed to make it work. Why can't the state of Georgia make it work? Are you really that retarded? Apparently so. Garrett. Just want to remind everyone to volunteer with Trump Force 47. I've been door knocking and making calls here in Michigan. Good on you. Yes, do everything that you can. Get out the fucking vote. The Great Scalzini, piles of fruit slathered in ketchup, a Sticks classic. Depends on the fruit. Actually, not a bad, I mean, it's just sugary tomato when you think of it. So, yeah, it can go with fruit. Andrew Von Halen, Sticks, what are some of your favorite synth pop groups in the 80s? Oh, don't get me started or I'll be here for 5 hours. I like the Eurythmics. I like Depeche Mode. They're a little bit darker than most synth pop, but the early stuff was synth pop. Let's face it. Let's see. What was the name of that band? Samedi, actually. Look up Samedi, Samedi, Between Two Hearts. It's one of those really, really old, sort of lost, really great songs. What was that other one? Just a sec. I'll look it up. It was a Belgian band. It's founded in Amsterdam. Oh, they're Dutch. I thought that they were Belgian for some reason. Nine Circles. Shooting Stars by Nine Circles. That was a good one. Again, an unsung. Apparently, this young teenage couple made this song called "Shooting Stars," I think it was, by Nine Circles, and they didn't realize, but it had become sort of an underground hit, and they never knew because they didn't know anything about contracts at the time or anything like that. I like the Eurythmics. Let's see, Duran Duran. Basically, if you name the synth pop, I probably like it. Joey Reed, how ironic is it that in 2016 I was inspired for a president that was a smartass like me. Now felons all around the country are inspired. Yes, Q Lazarus is Goodbye Horses. Ministry is good. Culture Club is good. Nobody has named a band that I don't like. Yeah, I love synth pop. It's probably my overall favorite genre, actually, of music. That, and I would say I like the atmospheric side of black metal. I like really extreme gore grind. You know, that's I have to be in the right mood for it. I just find it hilarious. I used to get stoned and listen to Gugal or Intestinal Disgorge, and I'd be laughing my ass off. I like grunge rock, some of it, not all of it. Hair metal from the 80s, speed metal. I like hippie music from the 60s and early 70s. I like the dark psychedelic period, sort of pioneered by like Coven and Black Sabbath and bands like that. Technically, they were Earth at the time. I like that music. Black Sabbath is one of my favorites. Doesn't matter, by the way, which lead singer they have at the time. Garrett, do you like Muse or Tame Impala? I like some Muse. Blancmange, yes. Professor Fear, that is a totally unsung band. I also like the lighter side of it, like ABC, bands like that. Dragonaut, I like. I like Droid Bishop. I've never heard of Elvin Bishop. I also like neo-folk. Neo-folk music is great. There was that one band. Let me look this up. Just a sec. I can't quite remember that. I haven't listened to them in a while. Where are you? Come on, man. Oh, yes, Nest. Look up Nest Woodsmoke. The Silver Shade Lynx is a great song. Oingo Boingo's good. Napalm Death is good. Marduk is good. What do fuck? Glad to see you made it back home. I'm assuming the entire story will come out at some point. Yeah. Sometimes I like really obscure, like whack-ass music. Like I like to listen to like Mongolian throat singing sometime. I don't know. I find it relaxing. Devo, Kraftwerk, The Smiths. Yeah. Apparently, Morrissey from The Smiths is aware of my content. He's posted several of his videos. My videos on his personal website. Let's get to our sponsors really quickly before I just start going completely insane here. We've got cultivated-mind.com, where you can get mushroom pills. Yeah, baby. And they have all sorts of cool side effects, actually. They're not narcotic in any way. They're a supplement. Also, don't taste bad, which is always good. In fact, I forgot to take my mushroom pill this morning. Fuck. Pumpkinfirecrafts.us, where you can get bookmarks, keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons, glassware, and much more. Ouroboros logo, Clank, all of the other channel memes. BiltongUSA.com or AntonsUSA.com, the land of delicious, sweet Anton's meat. You can also get Stick, Sex, and Hammer mugs, tumblers, and shirts there as well. He's also got a wide variety of like teas and crackers and all sorts of cool shit. Wicked Needle Embroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get Stick, Sex, and Hammer hats. Several varieties and colors are available there, again, with the special logo. My long-term logo for many years. Dreamed it up actually when I was still in high school. Heritage Heirloom Seed Company.com. They sell seed survival buckets. Most of the stuff that grew out in the garden, including these bad boys, came from Heritage Heirloom. There's also Stick, Sex, and Hammer soap available. There are two blends now. There's the Blueberry Cedar Clove. That's sort of the men's blend. And then there's the Lavender Marjoram. That's sort of the ladies' blend. So you get a couple of bars. You get a good lather up. In fact, I got to find where I put some of the soap. I'm not 100% sure. We've got websterswares.com/sticks-wares, where you can get Stick, Sex, and Hammer blades, Stick, Sex, and Hammer jackets, Stick, Sex, and Hammer beanies, and those famous metal straws, which, I mean, instead of buying reusable straws over and over again and polluting, you can just get one of those and you're set for a very long time. They've also got a bunch of Trump merch available there as well. And finally, jamandbean.com. That is jamnbean.com. The land of the Clank Blend, delicious coffee. You should try some. Also try their Costa Rica blend, and their teas are very good as well. Let's see. What the fuck? Do you like bagpipes or hate them? For some reason, there is no middle ground. I like them. I'm on your side. I like the Scottish bagpipes. Motorhawk84, Little Girls by Oingo Boingo is literally Joe Biden's anthem. Apparently that song, while creepy, was meant as a satire of rich elites that were banging kids. I have heard it before. Oingo Boingo is pretty good. Scott Steiner, the world's greatest ring announcer. I told Sleazy last night that Trump will be going to the Undertaker's podcast, Godfather of Mean Tweets, and Godfather of WWE, having a serious discussion. Prime red meat for soldiers of the meme war. Jesus. What the fuck? When are you doing the biochar? And please give us a video how to. I'm not sure. I mean, we've already had several frosts, and I've kind of been a little bit busy. Thankfully, it lasts for hundreds of years, so I don't really need to process it right away. There's no rush. You can get messy when you're in your garden. It doesn't matter if some of it falls in the paths. I'm going to hay them over anyway. So yeah, microplastics have infected dolphins now. Science is not yet sure exactly what impact nanoplastics might have on human cellular structure, let alone animal cellular structure. It could be really, really bad. The thing is, a lot of that, we're only 70 years into the plastic era. Most of the plastic being dumped has been in the last 20 or 30, and it's slowly degrading. We've got microplastics, and now we understand there are nanoplastics as it slowly breaks down. We are not sure exactly what impact this has on living systems. We're simply not sure. Festiva, does anyone else find it weird Kino Casino are trying to make Sticks out to be some lolcow on par with DSP or Review Tech USA? I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I still don't give a fuck. Eminem's pretty good as well, especially his early shit. Rap God was, you've got to admit, you may not like his politics or all of his views, but he is talented. He's great at branding. Yeah, we're all going to be plasticized. You remember that crazy German dude who would take dead bodies and through some process he would turn them into plastic, basically? And so you would see their body but it would never rot. It was just a pile of plastic, basically. Yeah, maybe the plasticization cult, they've taken over the world and they're trying to turn us all into plastic mummies too. Oh, I see that some of the retards have gotten onto the Rumble chat over there. What's the Island Boys? I've not never heard of them. What I really want to know: Beatles, yes or no? I am a yes myself. Some people, I think that people are kind of being hipsters when they say, "Well, the Beatles are highly overrated." Well, I mean, considering the groundbreakingness of some of their music and some of their styles, I give them a yes. Lord of the Re, Kino and PPP are just trying to find their next grift in an attempt to stay relevant because the Rikita situation isn't panning out how they'd hoped. Yeah, I saw that. I really stopped caring about other people's opinions of me a long time ago anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Druckenmiller, interesting the name, by the way. Market appears convinced Trump is going to win. You can see it. Yes, apparently Trump-aligned groups, including his own, sort of semi-crypto thing that I don't even know a lot about, are all basically up. And if you look at like the corporations and stuff that are really more on the liberal side, they're more like stagnant at the moment. And that this can be an indicator of the enthusiasm for a candidate, like as far as the major movers within markets, whether they have confidence in the candidate. I see a lot of astroturfing for Kamala, a huge amount of it. I don't see a lot of organic enthusiasm. Like when I look through the people on like Twitter, for example, I'll see a lot of pro Kamala posting. She did a great job. She's just wonderful, etc. Trump is a loser. But it's all coming from accounts that I know are paid off or have been ideologically aligned for 30, 40 years, like Olbermann or something like that. Whereas when I look at the, people who are praising Trump, I can vouch for the organic nature of a lot of these people. It's like night and day, actually. Trump's campaign has become the organic grassroots one. The Democrats have become the party of big money and big banks. By the way, absolutely delicious. I am so glad they are stocking these again. Oh my God. Didn't have any of those for years. They never had them in any of the local stores. Mayor Mike Mortimer? Yes, indeed, my good dude, Mike Mortimer. The Sumerian, glad you're back home, my dude. Thank you. Yeah, I would say musically related. I like the Beatles. In fact, they were for a while there. They were one of my favorite bands. I listened to them constantly. I also like the Beach Boys. I like some of their darker latter day stuff. Like they did a cover of California Dreamin', but it was in the '80s, and it's a really like a dark rendition of it. When you, it's not the kind of it's not the happy original version. Look up the Beach Boys' California Dreamin' sometime, especially the music video for that. It's kind of dark. Copium Poppies, the chat today is pretty musically based. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm thinking of other bands that I like. I'm gonna go through my my favorite music playlist. If I can get to it. YouTube's design is a little bit more arcane now than it was a few years ago. I don't know exactly why they switched it over because it makes everything, you have to click through more in order to actually get to anything. See, it's not even fucking there. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you have to go to the main page where if your watch history is off, you can't even see like recommended videos anymore or anything like that. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look up The Darkness. I believe in a thing called love. This is one freaky ass song, dude. And the music video for it's even freakier. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. This may surprise you, but I actually like some music by PP Cocaine. It's like deliberately like overmodulated hypersexual music, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of like a fusion of rap and synth pop at times. It's just weird. The Sleazy P gets shit from the other Gwar members since Gwar disses on Trump and they're all liberals. I don't think so. I don't believe he does. I guess you'd have to ask him. Kathleen Green, what about Richie Blackmore's Rainbow with Dio on vocals? Haven't seen that actually, but I'm sure that it's good. Copium Poppy Sticks, did you ever get a chance to check out their album Idolin by Rishla and or their other albums yet, like the bonus hole suggested a while back? I have not. Again, I have been slightly busy of these last days. Let's see. Another thing I've gotten into is AI music. If you look up like obscurest vinyl or some of these other channels, like look up Rodney Munch, It's Time to Take a Shit on the Company's Dime, or anything by Hanky Panky Hank. It's fucking hilarious. AI can produce songs that sound almost completely believable. Like you can tell, if you know that it's AI, you'll be able to tell. If you didn't know it was, like there was one, what was it? Let me try to find it. I'm going to try to find this one. There's one that. Please tell me that it's going to come up. Something like I've been smoking meth and seeing demons. There's also a Rob You Blind, I Am the Motherfucker. And it's basically it's some crazy shit. AI music has started off with a bang, and it's almost all heavily satirical and or stereotypical stuff. And I find that very, very good. You're going to learn a lesson in this delicatessen, for example. Lord of the Ree. At the risk of outing myself as a hipster, I am a sucker for that Midwest emo shit. American football is one of my favorite bands. Listen to whatever you want, dude. Now it's trying to go on the side. No, you're going to block me from seeing chat. Let's see. Please send no more super chats as I filter through some of this music. I'm trying to find this one song. What was the exact title? And now it's not loading at all. You're not alone. Samsha National Helpline. Don't worry, I'm not smoking meth. I'm referring to a song. The hell? Yeah. What was the name of that song? Sometimes you can find it in related videos, but I mean, otherwise you got to put it on a playlist. And if you forget, I helped the CIA move cocaine to the States by Hanky Panky Hank. That's a good one. I was sent to Vietnam to smuggle heroin. I beat the shit out of the priest, but I'm looking. The CIA made me batshit crazy. There was one song there. Sometimes it comes up. I don't think it's tagged properly or something like that, so it doesn't come up in related all the time. The I stands for jackass. I went to the Congo and got attacked by a dinosaur. Yes, that is an AI generated song. She chose the bear over me. That's a new reference. Yeah, I can't find that other one. Damn it. Fuck. There was one that was really, really funny, and I'm going to try to find it if I can. Okay, maybe if I... If I go from this one... Was it Obscurest Vinyl that made this? I'm not 100% sure. There are several channels that have a whole lot of shit on them, AI music. It's just you kind of got to get to the right video to find the... In fact, I should add this to my fucking favorites. That goes in favorite music. That one's hilarious. And that's by Mayor Breslin. And now we've got Mayor Mike. We got several mayors aboard here. Yeah, well, you'll find it if you go down the rabbit hole of AI music. Eventually, you'll find it. The unintended sticks. There's a lot of bullshit about tariffs in the media. So how do they really work? Clank. Limited tariffs can help to even trade imbalances. So let's say that you've got a country and you've got a big automotive industry like the United States does. You want to be able to sell cars at general parity with other countries. But let's say another country manipulates its currency and fucks with it subsidizes the auto industry. It can destroy your auto industry because people in the lower echelons of society, they're not buying luxury goods. They'll say, I can buy this American-made vehicle for $30,000, but then there's this Chinese alternative for $15,000. That's a big savings. They're going to tend to want to import the Chinese model. Even at a slight markup stateside, it's still going to be a lot cheaper. So what you do is you tariff that good when the car comes in, and you take a bunch of money, and it'll automatically drive up the price, unless the government wants to double subsidize, which would fuck them. And so it's more balanced. You're trying to keep other countries from fucking you in the ass. Mayor Mike, man of his word, Trump's theme country rock mix by Mike Mortimer is AI produced. Nice. Long Walks Music Sticks. I'm working on a cover of Forever Halloween by The Maine. Perfect for relaxing after taking the kids trick-or-treating or just chilling during spooky season. We'll be out in time for Halloween. Again, please send no more super chats. I'm asking you not to send me more money at this time. Copium Poppy. Seriously, though, listen to that album. It's one of the best albums in existence. Eidolon by Richelieu. Nice. The Sumerian. Check out occult rock band Hour of 13. I think I probably heard of them, I think. I can't recall a song. Yeah, I'm still trying to find this fucking... Goddamn. YouTube's algorithm is no longer any good for actually finding related videos. Like, I look at that, but then I'll see something that's totally unrelated to what I'm looking up. It happens constantly. Snoopy playing jazz on an autumn day. What the fuck does that have to do with AI-generated satire videos? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Ellie Regio, you came in my ass. Still trying to find that one meth song. Oh, Weird Al is another one that's good. Let's see. I'm going to try to find it. I also like all the music from Hell of a Boss, actually, and Has Been Hotel. I let Jesus take the wheel and he crashed the car. Rare 70s country vinyl. It's actually modern and AI generated. Bitch, bring my sandwich and purple drink. Some of you out there will really appreciate some of the weirder AI generated music. Some of those songs need like an actual cover by an actual musician too. Yeah, the one song that I'm looking for is the only AI song that's not actually coming on. Fuck it. I'll find it later. It's easier to find on my phone, actually. This one, the algorithm on your phone works a little bit differently. So I don't have ad blocker on here. So yeah, let's see. I'll try to. No, I don't want photography. I want Google. Let's see if we can find this. Oh, Marilyn Manson. Yeah, that's one of the best. Let's see. Is it by Lil Pablo? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. I've been tweaking and seeing demons. Yeah, I've been tweaking and seeing demons. Rare 70s lost hit song by Lil. Yeah, it's Lil Pablo. I find some of the AI music to be absolutely fucking hysterical. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go offline here in a sec. We're approaching an hour, and people are coming over, and I've got to eat tuna noodle casserole slathered in ketchup. You have no idea. Huzzy Dragon Snatch, I would like to humbly suggest to please give a listen to Michael Romeo's War of the Worlds Part 1 and 2, loosely based on the book. Cool. Yeah. Let me get the link from YouTube really quickly, and I'm just going to drop it in here before I go offline here. See, it just won't come up. It comes up on my phone right away, but it's not here on the desktop experience. It makes no fucking sense. Okay, well, I guess I can't really post it. Never mind. Just look up, I've been tweaking and seeing demons, rare 70s vinyl or something like that. Dr. Hook is another good band if you want some weird ass music. Anyways, I'm going to go offline. Of course, I do not go live tomorrow. I'll be available in the morning with my normal video slew. And I'll probably docket a few things up for the next week as well. Jason Lane, did you get your notaries? Inquiring minds want to know. Yes, indeed. That was successful, and I was very happy about that. So, yeah, going offline now, and it's time to go and acquire some victuals. That's about all. Peace out.